Thomas Babington Macaulay was a famous orator and essay writer. In his Lays of Ancient Rome, published in 1842, his intent was to recreate the ballads of ancient Rome before they started to imitate the Greeks. His poems were a staple in British education. Winston Churchill memorized and often quoted from his 70-stanza poem, Horatius. In 509 BC, Etruscan invaders marched on Rome. Their only access to the city was a bridge across the Tiber River. The Romans' only choice was to demolish the bridge. Lars Porsena of Clusium, by the 9 gods he swore, that the great house of Tarquin should suffer wrong no more. By the 9 gods he swore it, and named a trysting day, and bade his messengers ride forth, east and west and south and north, to summon his array. Just then a scout came flying, all wild with haste and fear. To arms, Sir Consul, Lars Porsena is here. On the low hills to westward the consul fixed his eye, and saw the swarthy storm of dust rise fast along the sky. But the consul's brow was sad, and the consul's speech was low, and darkly looked he at the wall, and darkly at the foe. Their van will be upon us before the bridge goes down, and if they once may win the bridge, what hope to save the town? Then out spake brave Horatius, the captain of the gate, to every man upon this earth death cometh soon or late, and how can man die better than facing fearful odds for the ashes of his fathers and the temples of his gods? Hew down the bridge, Sir Consul, with all the speed ye may. I, with 2 more to help me, will hold the foe in play. In yon straight path 1,000 may well be stopped by 3. Now who will stand on either hand and keep the bridge with me? Now while the 3 were tightening their harness on their backs, the consul was the foremost man to take in hand an axe, and fathers mixed with commons seized hatchet, bar, and crow, and smote upon the planks above and loosed the props below. 400 trumpets sounded, a peal of warlike glee, as that great host with measured tread and spears advanced and ensigns spread rolled slowly towards the bridge's head, where stood the dauntless 3. The 3 stood calm and silent, and looked upon the foes, and a great shout of laughter from all the vanguard rose, and forth 3 chiefs came spurring before that deep array. To earth they sprang, their swords they drew, and lifted high their shields and flew to win the narrow way. The 3 challengers are killed by the 3 defenders. Horatius is wounded, but still holds the bridge. The invading army is stopped in its tracks. Finally the word is given, and Horatius' companions rush back across the bridge as it collapses. But Horatius is too late. He remains on the other side, trapped between the invaders and the river. Alone stood brave Horatius, but constant still in mind, thrice 30,000 foes before, and the broad flood behind. O Tiber, Father Tiber, to whom the Romans pray, a Roman's life, a Roman's arms, take thou in charge this day. So he spake, and speaking, sheathed the good sword by his side, and with his harness on his back plunged headlong in the tide. No sound of joy or sorrow was heard from either bank, but friends and foes in dumb surprise, with parted lips and straining eyes, stood gazing where he sank. And when above the surges they saw his crest appear, all Rome sent forth a rapturous cry, and even the ranks of Tuscany could scarce forbear to cheer. And now he feels the bottom, now on dry earth he stands, now round him throng the fathers to press his gory hands, and now with shouts and clapping, and noise of weeping loud, he enters through the river gate borne by the joyous crowd. With weeping and with laughter still is the story told, how well Horatius kept the bridge in the brave days of old.